Yo, yo, yo! Okay, I could tell that introduction is not going to work. Hi everybody, my name is Tracy and welcome back to my channel. We are on the second part of the 8 limbs of yoga series. Part 2 are the NIYAMAS. Last week we discussed the yamas, which were more about moral restraint, moral values. These are observances. By the way, most yogis and spiritual teachers have encouraged students to practice only one limb. Matter of fact, one category of a limb at a time, because what you want to do is take baby steps. You want to be able to fully master, for example, a meditation practice, and then you can move on to observing your anger issues. Then, it's like you could break it down and then you can take your time. It's not a race, like this could take up to a lifetime to integrate all of these into your new identity. So I am practicing one. Doesn't really matter which one, just know that I'm practicing, that I will be from here on forward. I'm going to do what I can. And I think that's really what it's shown me so far, is that this guy said it perfectly. He's like, once you start focusing and once you start narrowing in on every individual trait that you start to observe, then it's going to get ugly, because it's like all your shadow, your dark side is going to creep up. But that's a good thing. That's the whole point. The thing is to be aware of it, of your, flaws, and to transcend it. So I'm not saying that in a year or two, I'm going to be like this enlightened being, But what I am saying is that slowly I will become a better person. I know that I'll be looking back at this moment right now, if I follow through, and I'll be saying I'm only continuing to grow and become a better person. I mean, isn't that the goal in life anyway? But okay, enough about that. First one is the Saucha, which is purity, cleanliness. The first place is everything you want. Yes, it is obviously the physical, so you don't want to have a clutter in your house. Matter of fact, that affects how you feel internally. Our surroundings affect our state of being. This is why people believe in feng shui. And then you can start moving in okay, what else does purity mean? Do I have pure thoughts? I do. Yo soy una santa. But on a serious note, this most definitely would include any substance abuse. Are you a heavy drug user? Drink, smoke? Are you not drinking enough water? And you guessed it, are you eating well? Do you have a generally clean system? Are your insides and your thoughts pure? If not, do you need a little TLC? Also, another great one is to be physically active, because that way you can keep the energy flowing in and out. You are constantly in a replenishing mode, for your body. The second one is santosha, or contentment. And I always have a favorite. The more I study this, the more I'm intrigued by just the little things that stand out the most, such as, being grateful for the sun or clean air. And this one means so much on so many different levels because of the virus. Yes, now we have to wear these masks, but also the California flowers, the fires, and also in the Amazon, and all of that is just so sad to me, because these people at one point in time thought that the sun and the clean air was promised. That could just go away at any moment with no advisory. Contentment is also being at peace with what you currently have, not taking anything for granted. Yes. Are you genuinely happy with your home and your career and everything that surrounds you? Are you truly content? It's almost as if you just hit this plateau of happiness, because every single day you are surrounded with love, the things that make you feel good. And that's really all we chase in life, is to feel that inner peace, that bliss. And if you look for happiness and the positive things and the little things, then it's pretty simple. You're kind of just always happy, you know? I love having plants and flowers at my home because watering them, caring for them, and just observing their beauty makes me really happy. I do that in the morning. And so, like, I am happy when I, just constantly throughout the day. And of course, there's dips, but just think about it. It's like you're like constantly on this high plane of happiness, and then something happens and you're like, eh. But then it's like you just keep on going because you don't dwell on the bad stuff. I know I'm like totally trailing off topic here, but that is true contentment, to be surrounded by love. As I said, your relationships, your hobbies, career, and the list goes on and on. And most importantly, being content with yourself. Do you truly love who you are as a person, as a whole? Inside, outside, your flaws, your virtues. Like, look at the whole picture. The third one would be tapas, or dedicated practice, self-discipline. And this one, little did I know, I've been practicing this for the past 2 years. Every time that I notice that I'm starting to abuse a certain habit, or anything, food, or not working out, let's say I slack off and get lazy, then that keeps me aligned with, it's so much deeper than that, because then it's like, then it's detachment from things like drinking or smoking. For example, like earlier this summer, I participated in an 8-week fitness challenge, and the self-discipline practice was no alcohol and clean eating. And so it took dedication in order for me to stay aligned with that goal, and I took it very serious. Maybe I slipped up like once or twice, like any human being, but I've never applied myself so much to a goal. And same goes for smoking, or if I am eating unhealthy, it's like I become aware of that, and so I step back a bit. I correct that behavior, and so I remove it. I discipline myself to not engage in, those habits or activities for a good while. So any form of discipline, such as fasting, could be applied to a dedicated practice towards a goal. And so the purpose of setting a goal is so that way you won't fall off track into the distractions. The fourth one is Swadhyaya, like I said, I'm terrible at pronouncing these, whoops. That one is self-study, and who better than the Egyptians to preach to get to know thyself? And I love this one because supposedly, if you believe in reincarnation, then you have these layers and layers of your soul that's been reincarnated into earth many times, trying to get it right, but then some only fall deeper and deeper into low vibrations. The problem is that since we have this veil over us and we purposely forget our mission here, our purpose, the whole point is to find it. And since earth is, it's the third dimension, so it's a very dense dimension, and that's why we have very animalistic behaviors as opposed to spirit. But really, the spirit is in us. And so the Egyptians knew that if you get to know yourself, you will uncover you will uncover the spirit and be more powerful as a man. Hello? And this is so important nowadays because I want everyone to follow their passions, not just, on the side, but as a full-time job. If you're doing what you love, and better yet, if you're making money, which is totally possible. We're living in 2020, so you can't tell me that there aren't any tools out there for us to use and not do what we love. And once you follow your heart's desire, it's like you are in that flow now. So more ideas, more energy of that is going to come together. Now the last one is all about surrendering to the divine and God, this is going to be horrible, but it's Ishvara Pranidhana. And this may seem like a big one because it's like, how can I just surrender to life? You know, we all have depression and anxiety for a reason, but this is just see it like on a much smaller scale. So if you were to zero in on, like, let's say you get into an argument with someone and you just let it go, you surrender to the divine and you let God handle the situation, you're going to see that you came out as a bigger person, and really you won, because this person is only damaging and hurting themselves more because they're not getting a reaction from you, while you're like so centered, you know? You're at Zen, so there's no way that they can, like, you know, fuck with you. So there's no way that they can knock you out of your high vibrational state. Or you can welcome the unexpected. Whenever you find yourself in a situation that you did not see coming and you have to suddenly deroute, then try to see it as the cup half full. Try to be adventurous and explore the unknown. You want to have more of a childlike mentality for sure, because you'll be in the state of curiosity. And so instead of fearing the unknown, the uncertainty, then you have to, oh my God, this is so big too, but you have to trust God to show you that that He's looking out for you, that this was a better path than the one that you originally thought. I have an interesting experience from last summer. I don't know if this would exactly apply to surrendering to the divine, but basically, I don't know how to swim, right? But that didn't stop me from going water tubing with a friend last year for Labor Day. And what happened is that we went onto this rinky-dink location, and, you know, we got there on a bus, and then I asked the guide, like, is anyone going to be accompanying us? Are we just, like, completely doing our own thing? And how deep is the water? And he was like, huh? He was like, oh, it's about 40 feet. And I was like, what? Hell no. You know, for a moment, it's like fear got to me. But then I was like, you know what? Everything's going to be all right. And then, like, something told me that he was just being sarcastic anyway. Like, I'm sure it wasn't 40 feet. But point is that if I can fucking swim and that's like 10 feet, either way, I'm dead, you know? But my friend knew how to swim, so I was going to count on her to rescue me. Either way, there was no way that I was backing out. I was looking forward to this. And, you know, I just jumped in there. Like, we just tied the things together. And I had a great time. And you know what? When there was a time where we got off onto this little remote bar hidden in the middle of the woods, and you know, the guy told us about it. He said 3/4 of the way you're gonna run into it. So then we get out there, and then she's like, oh, this thing is like to my hips. And I had no idea. I just completely surrendered and hope for the best. But hey, that's a new experience, and I'm so glad I did it. So that wraps up part 2. And I thought that these were also just as interesting as the yamas, because I noticed that it just continues for personal growth. It's like, now that you mastered what not to do, then it's like you want to expand. Your spirit wants to just go higher and higher. And so that's how we implement all these ideas one by one. Next week is my favorite one of all, which is the asanas. And I know that's so basic of me, but basically, like, what else can you expect from someone who grew up in the US? So with that said, much love and peace. Bye.